Hi. Well, you've probably already know who I am, so I'll just get right to it. You've just registered to the 10-day process, and I'm here to give you some general recommendations and guidelines before the actual process begins. Before the process, we're going to go through 1 week of raw food. The purpose is to begin the cleansing process, because during the process itself, we're going to go through a gradual cleansing. We begin the first day with just fruit, the second day, juice, third day, water, and then we go into a 3.5 day dry fast. During all that time, our body will go through the cleansing, and this means that individually, everyone is going to feel a little bit different. The cleansing is not always fun. Most people become a little bit more tired. They have a lower blood pressure. It means that when you get up too quickly, you suddenly see everything is black. But don't worry about it. I've already taught hundreds of people. I know that it's usually the doubt and the fear of the things that we don't really know and haven't really experienced. But during the process itself, things become much more clear, because there's 2 days of manifestation workshop where you understand how much control you have over your body and over the physical reality. As a general guideline and recommendation, I tell you, please don't tell other people what you're going to do. You can tell them that you're going to a cleansing, a special, unique workshop, but most people will not really understand. The type of people that do want to come to a breatharian initiation are your type of people. We are already the black sheep of our own society, right? We've been ridiculed about our weird concepts, weird ideas, and usually our friends send us to check out the new things, and we come back and tell them if it's safe, if it's okay. So most people, according to their DNA or their vibrational frequency, they won't really understand what you want to go through and why you registered. I know that you are curious just like I was curious. Some people just see one of my videos and suddenly understand that this is a calling. It's a calling because of many different reasons. One of the reasons is probably you have been a breatharian in previous lifetimes, not necessarily here. And therefore you feel that it makes sense in some way. Your mental, meaning your logical body, can't really explain it yet, but you, deep inside of you, you know it's possible. You know, and you've seen a few breatharians online, and you know that you can do it, and somehow there's a calling. So take care with who you tell it to. Take care that they won't let your frequency go down. Take care that you have to understand they love you. They really, really love you, and therefore they're afraid for you. You're the type of person that will experience different things, and they're a little bit more in the square, in the normality. And if you really want to experience it, eventually you're going to have to overcome what society tells you. If it's your spouse, if it's your parents, if it's your children, if it's your friends, if it's society itself defining what is normal and what is not normal. So, as we said, a recommendation is try not to tell many people. Wait for the process itself. I'm going to explain to you exactly how to tell it, and you'll have enough scientific facts with you, enough demonstrations, enough people, enough videos to make everyone understand much easier. But it takes some time. Usually in the first month or two, I recommend not to tell anyone, because we are still losing weight and there's still a little bit of doubt inside of us until the transition completely occurs. Another recommendation, if you really want to start preparing, is to fast once a week. Meaning once a week, 24 hours just on water. Once you actually register, you pay for the process and your intention is there, you will feel a change. You will feel that you're gradually eating less. Maybe you'll have dreams about it. You'll have some fears, some doubts, a lot of thoughts. Your ego wants to stay in its comfort zone, and that usually happens. That's part of what we know is a good change, is when we're afraid of something but we overcome it. So 1 day a week, water fast. Any day, it doesn't really matter. I usually recommend the first day of your work week. From a night before, the evening before, 24 hours. So just skip 2 meals. The purpose is not just for you to see how easy it is, because maybe the first time it's not going to be easier, you'll be tired. Usually it doesn't happen, I'm just saying. The next week it will be easier. The week after, even easier. And then you get into this routine. The second thing is why you do it, is to see how you cope with the social standard. See how you cope at work. Monday morning, you come to work, you don't eat anything, you don't drink anything but water or even herbal tea. You come to lunch, everybody tells you, come on, come out with us. And then you tell them, guys, I'm fasting. And then They begin with the questions, they begin with the doubts, they begin with, why are you doing it? For health reasons. And it reflects to them that they're probably not doing enough. Sort of like a vegan or a vegetarian judging a person that eats meat, and the eat meter doesn't feel very comfortable with that. So it just makes fun of them or ridicules them. So it's also to cope with that and see how you feel with it. So we said 1 day, 24 hours of fasting. Any day you choose, try to be persistent, because the breatharian lifestyle eventually requires persistence and some willpower. Second recommendation, when you go out shopping, sometimes buy the things that you like the most to eat, and sometimes learn how to say no. Learning how to say no, especially in the first months of your breatharian experience, especially if you're coming to the 10-day process, where we require at least a month and a half or 2 months without any physical food, you will see it's much easier than what you think, is to say no. To sit down with your friends or with your family on Christmas, if it happens, and knowing that you can just have some juice, some diluted soup, still enjoy it, watch it, observe it, to know how to distinguish between amazing smells and saliva that cause you to want to eat. See and be the observer of when you actually eat, because you're hungry, because your body asks for it, and not because you are bored. Sometimes we're so in the present moment, we're in love, we're a project that excites us, we don't eat all day, we enjoy it. That is the meaning of energetic nourishment. And then comes 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, we eventually find ourselves at home, and then we say, oh my God, I didn't eat all day. If I didn't eat, suddenly the brain tells you, oh, you're probably hungry. And then it calls the stomach and tells the stomach, tell him he's hungry. It's a switch. But when you know it's just a switch and you understand how much of it is emotional eating, then you know how to control it. And that's what we're doing in the 10-day process. So the 10-day process, as you probably know, has a very constant schedule. Every day we wake up at 8, we meet at 8:30. We have either Falun Gong, which is a type of energetic exercise, or we have something that is called the 5 Tibetans, depending if we're dry fasting or not dry fasting. And afterwards we have a workshop in the middle of the day according to the body that we're working on, physical, emotional, spiritual, or mental. After that we have 1 or 1.5 days of complete silence, where I will guide you. And the last 3 days we only do the integration, meaning the workshop in the middle of the day has to do with integration. So every day we meet at 8:30, we have about an hour and a half. After that we have the noon session, and after that we have at 5:30 another breathing exercise, guided meditation, and a sharing circle. Now, I usually recommend to the people who are more social to spend more time with themselves, and the people who are more time with themselves or loners to spend more time social. The process is about the balance of ourselves, see our weak spots, see our strengths, know how to use them, use all of them in a well-balanced way, one might say. So I hope this answers. Generally, I'm going to send about a month before the process, I send an email with recommendations of what to bring. It's really good to bring art with you, it's really good to bring music instruments, things to write on, inspiring books. If you can, we eventually create a library and everybody can just exchange their books, which is amazing. During the process itself, there's no cell phones. The purpose is for you to be disconnected from your regular reality. Don't have to worry, don't have the stress. Even if you have a business, even if you have a pet, leave your cell phone with us. First day, that's what we do. You either give it to us or you give us the SIM card, so you won't be connected but still can listen to music or take photographs. The process has enough of free time for you to see what it is that makes you happy, to make you think more about your next step in life. Because I've tried so many things in this life. I'm a world traveler, I've been around, I've done all the workshops that the world has to offer, and I can guarantee that this is a life-changing process for you. Don't think about it as just about food. It's about being more connected to your higher self, understanding what it is that defines you as a person, what your abilities are. It's pushing the social paradigms and the scientific paradigms to your own next limit, checking yourself out in a different way. That's why it's such a perfect. And with the time, I perfected it. I would say it's 95% perfect now. There's always 5% that I still need to discover. So I want to thank you for joining us. I know that each country, the process has a different coordinator. It will be written in the landing page or in the email that you will receive. If you have any logistical questions, just ask my coordinator in that country, or if you have any questions about the breatharian lifestyle that you haven't found in my video or in my website www.raymaor.com, you can just ask me directly by emailing me. My email is all over the net, so feel free. I usually try to answer within the first 72 hours. I'm very connected. I give at least 2 hours of answers every day to my participants and to my students. So I'll be very happy to meet you soon. Salamat.